Now, the process of it involves two things. One is lowering the butt enough, and the other is lifting the arms enough. Okay? So between those two, I'd like you to lower your butt enough, but not so much that it will be hard for you to do. And I want you to lift your arms enough, but not so hard that not so much that it will be hard for you to do. Okay? Got those parameters in?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what we're going to start with, in standing, of course, is a little bit of controlled hyperventilating. When you feel ready, like you feel the effects of the hyperventilation, okay? When you feel them, get yourself into the chair and continue breathing so that the effects will continue. And see how long you can stay there. Okay. Ignore me. Right? Just when you feel ready, get into the posture, continue breathing a little too much for the activity. If you do too much, you'll know. Nice, 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 nice. When you feel the need for a break, stand up, break. Take a break. There's no need for pushing, you see. Very difficult not to push. Okay. If we did something like this every week for a year, you'll get used to it. And you will know. And then try a second time. Now I'll tell you, if you're doing it in an ideal way, not pushing yourself at all, the second time will be easier than the first.
You continue breathing when you're in the chair?
Yes.
Hyper?
Yeah, just a little bit. So your body gets more oxygen than the activity is using. So at least that part of oxygen coming in is taken care of.
My muscle gets fatigued sooner.
Yeah?
Yeah, for me.
Go a little bit less. Low. Ah, yes. Now I can tell you, let go of that. Walk around a little bit. Nice, nice, nice. Walk around a little bit. The habit of pushing is so deeply ingrained that almost everyone here pushed themselves to do too much. Okay? This is because it's so deeply ingrained, and this is what takes most of the practice. Is to get to a place, a state of being, state of mind, where you're not pushing yourself. And then you'll find that magic happens, because your body starts upgrading itself. And you'll say, wait, but I've gotten better, but I didn't put any effort into it. And it'll drive you nuts in the beginning. Okay? So sit down, I'll tell you a little story about that, because if you're practicing this non-forcing way of doing things, you need to keep track of numbers. If you're staying in a posture, you need to keep track of how long you're staying in it. If you're doing repetitions, you need to keep track of how many repetitions you're doing. Because without the effort, it will be hard for you to notice you've gotten better. And I worked with a woman a few years ago. She wanted some private fitness training. I used this method. And I did a test for her in the beginning, and she could do 36 sit-ups. Okay? We'll not get into the method of counting them and how they're done and whatnot, but 3 months later, she could do 108. She thought she didn't improve at all. Why? Because it wasn't any harder. Now, basically, she became one of her twins, right? You see? But because the process wasn't full of pain, it wasn't full of effort, and she says to me, maybe I could have done 108 back then when we started. I'm like, no, no, no.
You're right.
We tested. Okay? But this is why I say it's really important to keep track of the numbers when you are doing this non-forcing methods of getting better. Otherwise, it will pass you by. Okay? So just tuck it in your brain somewhere. If you're starting to use this, start tracking numbers. Okay? Again, questions, comments, observations. How was it to do the chair now relatively to earlier? Did you notice?
Yeah, I could actually do it fairly well without
Better than before?
intense pain.
Excellent. Better than before?
Yes, because before I could barely get down and get my arms up. This time I could get down, not, but for me down, with the arms up without my knees like screaming at me.
Excellent. Continue on that trajectory. All right? I want to, in a month and a half or 2 months, I want to get an email from you saying I did it, no knee pain. Yes.
I feel the same as Renee, and I also feel like I was able to do it for a longer period of time.
Excellent.
First.
So improvement in the range and in the amount of time, which basically means you're stronger in a matter of an hour and a half, most of it talking. Yes, other things. Yeah.
It's kind of a mental thing for me, instead of sort of thinking about how annoying it is and how awful I feel, I was thinking about the breathing, so I was distracted
Mm-hmm.
and maybe more relaxed.
Okay, good, thank you. Other things?
I'm amazed at how the breath, I never did that before, or I've never used that before, that
Uh-huh.
hyperventilating breathing.
Yeah.
And that gave me so much more energy.
Right,
Strength.
yeah. It will do that, yeah. Controlled hyperventilating is really, really nice to practice, and then, whatever exercises you do, use that. Okay, other things? So I want to mention one more thing just so you have it in your brain. If the total range of motion you can do is here, okay, this much, then if you go lower than that, you don't have the strength to come back up. Okay? It's the end of your range, and you'll stay stuck down there for
I had experience.
Now, if the range of motion, which is like mine, is all the way down here, okay, then doing the chair is somewhere in the middle of my range, so it doesn't take any toll, range-wise. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, in terms of doing something like this, I want to be in a posture that is not at the edge of my range. I want it to be somewhere before the edge, even if it's an inch before. Okay? And then as the range increases, I can do the posture more book perfect, which I don't really care about, but it can be nice pictures of you on the wall saying, look, I'm doing book perfect. I knew a yoga teacher who had that. I had pictures of himself doing all of these sophisticated postures all the way around his yoga studio. It was very impressive. Not my style. So let's do, I know we said we'll do push-ups, but before that, why not? They're a lovely thing to do.
Oh no, need to strengthen those arms.
But we'll start with the half bridge. Okay. So go to your place, lie on your back, and bend your knees. Putting your feet standing. That means the bottoms of the feet are on the floor, legs are bent.
No pillows.
No pillows. Yeah, you could use a pillow.
Oh, really?
Arrange yourself to be comfortable. Okay, bend the legs so that the feet are on the floor. Now in the half bridge, what we're doing is we're lifting the pelvis so that it's more or less in line with the knees. Now, we may not get there. That's not important. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is several times lift the pelvis as high as it will go comfortably. Put it back down. Don't stay there. Lift it. Put it back down. Wiggle yourself into a better position for lifting. Okay? Wait a few seconds. And then lift again. And then lower. Right? Rearrange the body to be more comfortable lifting the next time. And then lift and see if by rearranging yourself a little bit, you can make it easier to lift the pelvis. Okay, just a few times like that. Every time, trying to rearrange the body to be a little bit more comfortable for the next lifting. And of course, if it becomes easier to lift the third time, then you're already stronger, right? How did you get stronger if your muscles didn't get any stronger in the last 30 or 40 seconds? Better internal coordination. You arranged yourself better. And you can do it better. For all practical purposes, you're stronger. And let go of that and rest. So now we've told the body numerous times, we want to do this and we want to do it more easily. And now your body is humming internally